an area.
Yeah.
You're in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
That's Bigfoot country.
That is.
But I do think Bigfoot existed.
Yeah.
There's some insane number of Native American words for Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
Sasquatch is just one of them. There's a bunch of them.
In a quiet part of British Columbia, a woman hiking on Vancouver Island caught something incredible on her camera and posted it online. She saw a strange, hairy creature staring intensely at her without making a sound. Scared but determined, she snapped a clear photo before her fear made her run away. Once she shared her story and the photo online, it caused a big stir, with people fiercely debating whether it was real or fake.
Seriously, look how big it is. I don't think it is a human.
Could this be the best proof we've ever seen of Bigfoot's existence?
There's no way a human could walk through that.
Let us explore why this woman doesn't want to set foot in the jungle after one of the worst experiences of her life. The search for the unseen in British Columbia. In a far-off part of Canada, a woman from British Columbia took to a social media hiking group to share an unusual experience she had while on a hike on Vancouver Island. She came across a figure that was notably hairy and looked rather odd. This individual, she noted, had a severe, unwelcoming stare and did not speak at all. The hiker described this silent figure as maintaining a rigid, glaring expression that seemed to communicate nothing but its own intense presence. She quickly managed to snap a photo, driven by a mix of fear and the need to document what she was seeing. The fear was strong enough to make her tremble, and it wasn't long before she felt the urge to leave the area swiftly. Her decision to leave was fueled by an overwhelming feeling of discomfort and anxiety. She depicted this moment as one of both fascination and horror, which made her choose to get away from the unsettling situation rather than stay and find out more about the strange being. The woman's recounting of her encounter speaks to a dramatic and emotional experience, heavily influenced by her personal feelings of fear. The accuracy of her story might be questioned due to its reliance on her individual perception, which was not supported by any additional evidence or witnesses. The fact that the figure didn't interact with her in any way also makes the story feel more like a personal anecdote rather than a confirmed event. Her tale led to various reactions within the online hiking community. Some people believed her, while others were more doubtful, discussing the likelihood of the encounter being a figment of her imagination, or perhaps a misinterpretation of something less extraordinary. The discussion itself highlights how stories like hers can spark a mix of curiosity and skepticism among readers. This encounter, real or imagined, serves as a reminder of how isolated and vulnerable one can feel in the wilderness. It also shows how such experiences can become captivating tales that resonate with wider audiences, encouraging debates about what lies beyond the ordinary. Whether it was a real encounter with an unknown creature or simply a misinterpretation colored by isolation and fear, her story certainly captured the attention of her fellow hikers and prompted a lively exchange of thoughts on the nature of unexpected encounters in the wild. The image immediately caught everyone's attention because the creature's face was so clearly visible. This unusual clarity made many people suspicious, leading them to quickly label the photograph as fake. They argued that it was too perfect and must have been tampered with, sparking a lot of doubts and causing many to dismiss the image as not genuine. Handling how people react to different images is quite tricky. There seems to be a common issue where if a photo is too blurry, it leaves viewers unsatisfied because they can't see enough details. On the other hand, if a photo is extremely clear and shows every little detail, it makes people skeptical. They wonder if it's been edited or if the scene was set up to look a certain way. This problem indicates that viewers are hard to please. They either complain about lack of detail and poor quality, or suspect that clear, detailed photos are not real. This skepticism affects not just hobbyists, but also professional photographers, whose works are displayed in big galleries and featured in major publications. Moreover, the skepticism goes beyond just how the photo looks technically. It also involves what the photo shows. When something hard to find, like the creature in the image, is shown so clearly, it often triggers disbelief. It seems that in the world of photography, having too much clarity can be just as problematic as having too little. This ongoing debate doesn't just impact how we see individual photos. It also influences broader discussions about what makes a photo authentic in today's digital world. As both photographers and viewers navigate these challenges, the distinction between real and manipulated photos becomes harder to define. This leaves the field of photography in a state of flux, with more debates and discussions about credibility and authenticity. It's clear that finding a balance that satisfies everyone is becoming increasingly difficult, leaving many questions unanswered and continuing to fuel discussions in the photography community. Dense forests of British Columbia, the legend of Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, thrives amidst the towering trees and secluded wilderness. This region, famed for its vast landscapes, has become synonymous with stories of the elusive creature, though many scientists express skepticism regarding its existence. Despite numerous claims of sightings, the scientific community continues to demand concrete proof, which remains elusive. Locals and tourists alike often report encounters with Bigfoot, describing shadowy figures and strange noises in the woods. These stories, while compelling, are frequently dismissed as cases of mistaken identity or fabrications, as no definitive evidence like bones or clear footprints has ever been presented. The fascination with these sightings is not only a source of intrigue, but also serves as a cultural and economic touchstone for the region, influencing local folklore and attracting curious visitors. Indigenous groups in British Columbia have long shared a rich tapestry of tales about Bigfoot. These narratives are more than mere stories. They are woven into the cultural fabric, serving as moral lessons and reinforcing social bonds. They speak of a deep connection with the land and its mysteries, fostering a respect for nature that persists through generations. As technology advances, distinguishing between reality and digital manipulation becomes increasingly challenging. Images and videos can be altered, making it difficult to trust the validity of supposed evidence. This technological ambiguity feeds into the skepticism surrounding Bigfoot's existence, prompting some to question the motivations behind the perpetuation of these tales. Are these stories maintained to preserve tradition, support tourism, or because of a genuine belief in the supernatural? Next, let's explore the evolving tale of Bigfoot in the wilds of British Columbia. The persistent tale of Bigfoot. The legend of Bigfoot continues to evolve, shaped by both modern technology and ancient storytelling traditions. In British Columbia, where the natural environment is both beautiful and foreboding, the story of Sasquatch finds a fitting home. It is a narrative that invites exploration and contemplation, encouraging both believers and skeptics to venture into the wilderness in search of answers. The ongoing narrative of Bigfoot serves not only to entertain, but also to challenge our understanding of what might exist beyond the known. It prompts a closer look at our surroundings and tests our willingness to consider possibilities beyond the conventional. As people delve deeper into the forest, they find themselves part of a continuing story, one that is as much about the search itself as it is about the subject of their quest. This enduring interest in Bigfoot also highlights the human love for the unknown and the unexplored. The creature symbolizes the mysteries that still exist in the world, particularly in places as remote and untamed as the forests of British Columbia. Whether seen as a figure of folklore or as a subject of potential scientific discovery, Bigfoot captures the imagination and encourages a deeper engagement with the mysteries of the natural world. The tale of Sasquatch, therefore, is not just a story about a possible creature lurking in the forest. It is a narrative about humanity's quest for understanding, the joy of the hunt, and the allure of what might be hiding just out of sight, waiting to be discovered. Reports of Bigfoot continue to capture the attention of both locals and scientists today, extending beyond traditional folk stories and reaching across different cultures to inspire a deep-seated curiosity about these shadowy figures. The interest in Bigfoot is not merely about myth. It's about a deeper desire to understand what might be lurking in the unexplored natural world. British Columbia, with its vast forests, high mountains, and hidden valleys, offers the perfect backdrop for such legends. The province is teeming with natural resources and large areas that remain largely untouched by humans, providing numerous hiding places for these elusive creatures. Skeptics argue that the continuous absence of solid proof suggests these stories are more about creating myths than discovering facts. They point to the repeated pattern of unverified anecdotal tales that keep the idea of Bigfoot alive, supported by both media interest and some fringe scientific pursuits. Critics also note how these stories help boost local tourism and enhance the allure of wilderness exploration, suggesting a mix of financial motives and human curiosity behind the ongoing popularity of the Bigfoot legend. This narrative fits well with our natural attraction to the unknown and our desire to be part of a story that defies conventional understanding. It raises questions about why, despite advanced technology and more humans moving into natural areas, these alleged creatures remain just out of reach of real confirmation, always evading every effort to conclusively document them. Thus, the tale of Bigfoot serves as an intriguing case study for looking at how legends, the environment, and the contemporary thirst for discovery converge. It invites both skeptics and believers to consider the boundaries of human knowledge and the expansiveness of nature, where potentially anything, including Bigfoot, could remain hidden. The ongoing fascination with Bigfoot might seem perplexing to those who demand hard evidence. Yet it underscores a broader cultural phenomenon: our enduring fascination with the possibility of undiscovered life forms right on the margins of our developed world. This fascination prompts ongoing debates and investigations, which, despite their often inconclusive results, continue to feed the legend. The narrative of Bigfoot, therefore, is not just about the thrill of the hunt. It's about our relationship with the wild and the untouched, and the tantalizing possibility that something incredible could exist just out of sight, skillfully avoiding our modern ways of detection. It challenges us to think about what might be hiding in the deep, uncharted forests of our planet, and keeps us returning, time and again, to the mysteries of the natural world. The untouched landscapes of British Columbia, barely touched by human activity, are said to be a hiding spot for Bigfoot. This allows it to move unseen through rough terrains and thick forests. Many people have reported seeing Bigfoot here, with stories coming from all over the province. These range from the lush rainforests of Vancouver Island to the secluded forests deeper inland. A diverse group of people, including locals, visitors, and nature lovers, have reported these sightings. They have meticulously noted each encounter with these large, ape-like creatures. It's noteworthy how detailed and numerous these reports are, suggesting either a real phenomenon or a cultural hobby of crafting tales of modern folklore. When looking at these stories critically, the number and consistency might seem convincing. Yet skepticism arises due to the consistent absence of solid proof alongside these stories. Sightings typically happen under poor conditions for taking clear photos, like in low light or heavy fog, or from too far away. These conditions conveniently support the tale of Bigfoot as an elusive shadow in the wilderness. The eagerness with which these stories are shared and enhanced might be creating a cultural myth, a collective agreement on the existence of a creature despite no physical proof. This isn't new, as similar legends have popped up throughout history, often serving as entertainment or a way to explain the unknown through familiar concepts. These stories might also have a practical purpose: boosting tourism. British Columbia's beautiful wild areas are the perfect setting for such legends, attracting tourists hoping to spot the mythical creature. The blend of commerce and myth shouldn't be ignored, as it brings economic benefits to the area. Now, we'll see how belief and skepticism keep the Bigfoot story going. The relentless call of the wild. Critics argue that if Bigfoot really roamed as widely as the stories suggest, we would have found better evidence by now. Yet, those who believe keep their faith, supported by the large volume of stories that vividly describe Bigfoot encounters. This ongoing debate between believers and skeptics keeps the Bigfoot legend alive, making it a permanent part of Canadian wilderness tales, though viewed with a critical eye. It's also interesting to consider the social role these Bigfoot stories play. They provide a shared narrative that communities can rally around, discuss, and use to engage with their environment in a mystical way. Moreover, these tales can give a sense of thrill and wonder about the natural world, making everyday settings feel more adventurous. The Bigfoot legend also taps into a deeper, perhaps unconscious, desire for mystery and exploration in an age where much of the world seems thoroughly explored and mapped. The idea that there could still be undiscovered creatures out there stirs a sense of curiosity and challenges our understanding of the world. Whether Bigfoot is real or not, the stories themselves have a tangible impact. They inspire curiosity, skepticism, and a variety of commercial and cultural responses that ripple through communities. The tale of Bigfoot in British Columbia is not just about whether the creature exists, but about how the story fits into the larger human narrative and what it reveals about our society's values, fears, and desires. Many people report seeing a large, two-legged creature covered in thick, dark fur. These witnesses often describe it as being between 7 to 10 feet tall, with wide shoulders and walking like an ape. They also mention a strong, unpleasant smell that seems to surround the creature, adding a layer of believability to their stories. This uniformity in how people describe their sightings stirs interest both locally and around the world. Some see these descriptions as credible. Yet, skeptics might think about the psychological or cultural reasons behind these stories. Could it be a shared wish to believe in something extraordinary, something that captivates both residents and Bigfoot hunters? Additionally, supposed physical evidence, like footprints, strands of hair, and strange noises, have been presented as proof of Bigfoot's existence. These items are carefully analyzed by enthusiasts and self-appointed experts who are keen to confirm their beliefs. However, one might wonder about the thoroughness of their scientific methods. Are these items really signs of a mythical creature, or just misinterpreted evidence of common animals, turned into sensational stories by people's imaginations? The Bigfoot narrative in British Columbia is not just consistent, it plays a significant role in the area's cultural stories. It taps into a deep human need to make sense of the unexplained and find the unknown in the familiar. Whether viewed with skepticism or wonder, these stories are a rich part of the region's folklore and continue to spark discussion and guesswork. As these tales persist, they become a key part of the cultural and natural lore of British Columbia, blurring the lines between myth and fact. Such stories captivate the imagination, serving as a reminder of our love for the unexplained and the thrill of the chase. They encourage a sense of community among those who chase these legends, providing common ground for shared stories and expeditions into the wilderness. Whether Bigfoot is real or not, the search for it brings people together, offering adventure and a break from everyday life. This ongoing intrigue ensures that Bigfoot remains a beloved topic in conversations and explorations in British Columbia. Tracks in the dirt, loose hairs, and eerie audio recordings that resemble the calls of primates are all touted as evidence in the ongoing attempt to prove Bigfoot's existence. Skeptics, however, often brush off such findings as misidentifications or well-crafted fabrications. Despite such skepticism, many enthusiasts steadfastly use these discoveries to argue that Bigfoot is indeed wandering through the forests. This deep examination not only aims to validate the existence of Bigfoot, but also highlights the complex issues surrounding the evidence and what it supposedly proves. The pursuit is not just about confirming the existence of a creature, but is also tied deeply to cultural significances, especially in regions like British Columbia. Here, for indigenous communities, Bigfoot is more than just folklore. It is part of a larger cultural and historical narrative deeply woven into their heritage. Proponents cling to every bit of evidence, from ambiguous footprints to tangled hair, as proof of Bigfoot's presence. This enthusiasm often fuels a debate that shifts from the realm of folklore into both scientific and cultural discussions. Detractors argue that the zeal to prove Bigfoot's existence can overshadow rational analysis, leading to a cycle where even the smallest sign in the wilderness is seen as evidence of the cryptid. The debate over Bigfoot reflects wider societal issues: how we deal with the unknown, the conflict between mythology and science, and how far human curiosity will go to explain the unexplained. It also probes into our belief systems, questioning why we hold on to certain beliefs and the nature of belief itself. Involving indigenous perspectives complicates the discourse further, as these communities often see Bigfoot not as a creature to be proved or disproved, but as an integral part of their spiritual and natural world. The mainstream quest for hard proof sometimes misses out on these cultural insights, which provide a different kind of understanding rooted in tradition and respect for nature. Moving on, let's look at how Bigfoot has moved from sacred stories to tourist attraction. Giant shadows in the forest. Through this relentless search, every claimed piece of evidence and each mysterious sound in the darkness adds to a story that intertwines human belief, cultural identity, and the pursuit of the unknown. Whether or not Bigfoot is real, the quest to find it pushes us to question the boundaries between the known and the unknown, the natural and the supernatural. Sasquatch is a being steeped in indigenous cultures' oral traditions and spiritual ideologies, often represents more than just a mythical creature. Stories of encounters with these beings have been meticulously preserved across generations, serving not only as entertainment, but also as important lessons in respecting nature. However, the evolution of Bigfoot into a commercial icon suggests a shift from reverence to commodification. The character of Bigfoot has grown beyond its cultural roots, becoming a significant attraction for tourists. The province is dotted with various Bigfoot-themed attractions, including museums filled with questionable Bigfoot artifacts and festivals that blend genuine interest with flashy showmanship. These guided tours and events cater to a universal fascination with the unknown, leveraging the thrill of the hunt for commercial gain. This transformation from a sacred symbol to a tourist magnet raises questions about the integrity with which cultural stories are handled when adapted for a wider audience. It highlights a recurring trend of repackaging indigenous stories for entertainment, often stripping them of their original context and diluting their meanings. Bigfoot, once a respected figure symbolizing a deep connection to the wilderness, has been reduced to a tool for marketing and entertainment. The commodification of Bigfoot not only reflects on the broader issues of cultural representation, but also illustrates how society can sometimes overlook the deeper values of indigenous narratives. Originally, these stories served as communal bonds and taught important cultural values, but their commercialization often prioritizes spectacle over substance. This approach not only distorts the original tales, but also risks diminishing the respect these figures once commanded within their own communities. As Bigfoot transitions from a revered cultural symbol to a mere entertainment commodity, it becomes emblematic of the broader commodification of cultural symbols. What once was a profound element of heritage is now leveraged for profit, turning rich cultural narratives into superficial attractions. This trend, while undoubtedly profitable, serves to water down the rich cultural heritage these stories embody, reducing profound symbols to trivial pursuits for tourists. The fascination with Bigfoot continued to thrive, fueled by the creature's frequent appearances across various forms of media. Books, documentaries, and television shows kept Bigfoot in the public eye, reinforcing its mythical status, despite the absence of solid evidence proving its existence. This extensive representation in entertainment played a crucial role in maintaining Bigfoot's prominence within popular culture. Countless reported sightings and a wealth of personal stories have failed to convince skeptics who consistently point to the stark lack of scientific evidence. The skeptics argue that without physical remains or clear, indisputable photographic evidence, Bigfoot remains a figure of folklore, cleverly marketed to capture the imagination of the public and drive consumer spending. Conversely, advocates of Bigfoot research maintain that the lack of evidence doesn't necessarily mean the creature does not exist. They advocate for deeper, more systematic scientific investigations, hoping that such efforts might eventually uncover the truth behind these sightings. They often criticize the broader scientific community for dismissing their research as frivolous, arguing that this skepticism hinders potential breakthroughs in understanding whether Bigfoot might be more than just a myth. The enduring interest in Bigfoot reflects a deeper, perhaps innate human curiosity about the unknown. The notion that such a creature could exist, hidden from the modern world yet occasionally glimpsed, taps into a narrative that borders on the supernatural, appealing to a widespread fascination with stories that challenge the boundary between reality and the mythical. Moreover, the success of Bigfoot-themed media underscores the public's appetite for exploration of the unexplained. The entertainment industry capitalizes on this interest by producing a steady stream of content about Bigfoot, ensuring that the creature remains a lucrative symbol within popular culture. Through television, film, and literature, Bigfoot not only remains relevant, but also serves as a testament to the power of mystery in driving human interest and creativity. As time passes, the debate over Bigfoot's existence encapsulates a broader dialogue about belief, evidence, and the limits of what science can prove. Skeptics see the pursuit of Bigfoot as a distraction, a pursuit of shadows without substance, while believers in its existence continue to seek out evidence that might validate their theories. Regardless of the ultimate truth of Bigfoot's existence, the creature has undeniably carved out a place for itself as a cultural icon, embodying the eternal human attraction to the undiscovered and the unexplainable. Through all this, the saga of Bigfoot offers a mirror to the human condition, the desire to believe in and pursue the possibility of wonders yet to be understood, lying just beyond the reach of current scientific understanding. This ongoing quest, regardless of its eventual findings, highlights an essential aspect of human nature, the relentless pursuit of the unknown. Next, we use new technology to search for Bigfoot, but it brings up new challenges. Expedition into the hidden Bigfoot's realm. Many claim to have seen Bigfoot and support their stories with unclear photos, but skeptics aren't convinced. They want solid proof beyond stories and blurry images to believe in Bigfoot's existence. This ongoing debate keeps many people interested and has led to calls for more detailed scientific studies. Efforts to find Bigfoot have taken advantage of new technology. Researchers in British Columbia's remote areas use high-tech tools like trail cameras, drones, and devices that detect heat to gather better data. These tools help them search more effectively in difficult terrain. However, some critics question whether these advanced technologies are actually helping. They argue that spending time and money looking for a creature only known from unclear photos and controversial sightings might be a waste. Supporters of the search think finding Bigfoot could be a major scientific and cultural breakthrough, continuing to draw attention and funding. The debate also touches on whether these high-tech methods are appropriate. Using drones and other devices in nature can disturb wildlife and affect the environment, leading to concerns among conservationists about finding the right balance between exploring and protecting nature. Additionally, there's worry that focusing too much on technology could lead to biased results, with researchers possibly seeing signs of Bigfoot where there are none. This problem is made worse by the fact that Bigfoot has become a popular figure in media and merchandise, which some believe takes away from serious scientific work. Despite these issues, the fascination with proving or disproving Bigfoot's existence remains strong. This quest shows how curious humans are and the extent of our efforts to explore the unknown. The involvement of technology in the search is likely to increase, possibly getting us closer to a definitive answer about Bigfoot. As more tools and methods become available, the search becomes more intensive and widespread. Every new piece of technology, from satellite imagery to more sensitive motion detectors, adds a layer to the search efforts, making it possible to cover larger areas and analyze data more deeply. However, as the technological net widens, so do concerns about its effectiveness and the real value of the findings. The lure of discovering something as sensational as Bigfoot not only fuels ongoing research, but also sparks wider public engagement. From TV specials to guided tours in purported Bigfoot hotspots, the cultural footprint of this search is significant. It's a blend of science, hope, and entertainment, keeping the legend alive and kicking, while also posing serious questions about what we choose to believe and why. Whether it's the thrill of the chase or the possibility of an earth-shattering discovery, the pursuit of Bigfoot is more than just a simple search. It reflects our broader desires to explore the unknown and to challenge the boundaries of our understanding. As each new technology is brought to bear on the forests and mountains where Bigfoot is said to roam, both the scientific community and the public watch eagerly, waiting to see what, if anything, will finally emerge. Reports of Bigfoot sightings and behavioral patterns often surface. These sightings have spurred citizen science initiatives and collaborative research projects, drawing many from the general public into the search for Bigfoot. These efforts not only advance scientific exploration, but also cultivate a sense of community involvement and collective responsibility. The Bigfoot sightings in British Columbia represent more than mere folklore. They weave a complex array of narratives that capture the attention of both believers and skeptics. Yet, doubts linger about the authenticity of these accounts, which often rely on personal testimonies and anecdotal evidence rather than hard, scientific facts. Some skeptics suggest that the allure of Bigfoot might stem more from the excitement of the hunt or a desire for connection with the inexplicable rather than a quest for truth. Citizen scientists, enthusiastic yet often lacking in formal scientific training, might contribute more to confusion than clarity, collecting data that's hard to distinguish from simple guesses. Moreover, the dynamics within these community-led initiatives sometimes overshadow their scientific goals. The thrill of potentially discovering something unknown can lead to confirmation bias, where individuals see what they want to see rather than what is actually there. This bias is even stronger in group settings, where shared beliefs can skew the interpretation of vague evidence. Discussions about Bigfoot in British Columbia also reflect wider cultural interests in exploring the wilderness and the inherent human desire to probe the unknown. However, this cultural fascination can influence public opinion and scientific inquiry, sometimes leading to a preference for sensationalism over systematic study. The pursuit of Bigfoot through community-driven science brings people together and fosters an interest in natural environments. Yet it raises significant questions about evidence standards and research methodologies. It highlights the need for a balance between open-minded investigation and the rigorous skepticism essential to scientific inquiry, marking the fine line between genuine exploration and indulging in modern myths. These citizen-led searches enhance the adventure and foster a spirit of collective effort and mutual accountability. The role of citizen scientists, crucial in many areas of research, presents particular challenges in the realm of cryptid studies. The lack of strict scientific procedures can lead these well-meaning individuals to gather data that blurs rather than clarifies the truth. The excitement about possibly discovering Bigfoot often results in groupthink, where the desire to believe in the creature overshadows objective analysis. This can cloud the true scientific goals of such projects, where the excitement of the chase may take precedence over the diligent process of data verification. The narrative of Bigfoot in British Columbia serves as both a source of fascination and a cultural lens, reflecting broader societal interests in the untouched wilderness and the deep-seated urge to uncover the undiscovered. Yet this cultural interest might skew the trajectory and perception of scientific endeavors, where the line between thrilling narratives and empirical research becomes blurred. Ultimately, while the search for Bigfoot unites communities and enhances appreciation for our natural surroundings, it also prompts a reevaluation of how evidence is collected and interpreted. It encourages a discussion on the balance between embracing new discoveries and maintaining the critical scrutiny necessary for scientific endeavors, highlighting the delicate balance between exploring legitimate unknowns and fostering tales akin to modern folklore. What if Bigfoot really exists and we've just been looking in the wrong places? Like, comment, and subscribe for more.